She was 71, a retired schoolteacher, walked 3 miles every morning, rain or shine, never smoked a day in her life. She came to my clinic complaining of stiff joints, a stubborn 10 pounds that wouldn't leave, and a fog in her thinking she couldn't shake. Her family doctor had told her, "That's just age." But when I ran her blood work, one number jumped off the page. Her inflammation marker was nearly triple what it should have been. And here's the part that stopped me cold. When we sat down and reviewed everything she ate, there wasn't a single junk food in sight. No soda, no fast food. She ate what she believed was a clean, healthy diet. The culprit was hiding in plain sight, in foods she trusted. Foods that were quietly setting her body on fire from the inside. By the end of this video, you'll never look at your breakfast the same way again. I'm Dr. William Cooper, and I've spent 32 years as a gastroenterologist, 3 decades peering inside the human digestive tract, watching what food actually does to the body long after the plate is cleared. I've performed thousands of colonoscopies and endoscopies. I've seen the inflamed, angry tissue up close. And what I'm about to tell you is something most doctors simply don't have time to explain in a 7-minute appointment. This is insider knowledge, the kind that changes lives. Because after 60, the foods on this list don't just sit in your stomach. They rewire your immune system. And almost nobody is talking about it. So let me explain what actually changes inside your body after 60, because this is the key to everything that follows. When you were 30, your gut lining was a tight, sealed wall. Picture the grout between bathroom tiles, fresh and solid, holding everything exactly where it belongs. Food stayed on one side, your bloodstream stayed on the other. But after 60, that grout starts to crack. Scientists call it increased intestinal permeability. You may have heard the nickname leaky gut. The tight junctions between your intestinal cells loosen with age. And when they loosen, tiny fragments of bacteria and undigested food slip through into your bloodstream, where they absolutely do not belong. Your immune system sees these invaders and panics. It sounds the alarm. It sends in the firefighters, inflammatory cells, to put out a fire that never fully goes out, day after day, year after year. Scientists have a name for this smoldering, low-grade fire that builds up as we age. They call it inflammaging. Think of it like a home with a smoke detector that never stops chirping. At first, it's annoying. But over the years, that constant alarm state wears down everything. Your joints, your arteries, your brain, your energy. This is the root cause behind so much of what we dismiss as just getting old. The aching knees, the brain fog, the stubborn weight, the exhaustion. Now, I want to be honest with you, not alarmist. This is not about fear. Your body has a remarkable capacity to heal. The gut lining can literally renew itself every few days when you stop feeding the fire. So this isn't a list of things you can never eat again. It's a map. A map that shows you where the hidden matches are. Let's find them together. Number 1, flavored yogurt. And I can already hear you saying, "But Dr. Cooper, yogurt is a health food. It's got probiotics. It's good for my gut." And you're not wrong about plain yogurt. The problem is what they do to the flavored kind that sits on nearly every grocery shelf. Here's what nobody tells you. A single 6-ounce cup of fruit-flavored yogurt can contain 20 to 30 grams of added sugar. That's more than a glazed donut. And the specific sugar problem isn't just the calories, it's what that sugar does to the bacteria living in your gut. When you flood your intestines with that much added sugar, you feed the wrong microbes. Research shows high sugar intake shifts the balance of your microbiome, increasing pro-inflammatory bacteria like proteobacteria and starving the good bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids, the compounds that actually keep your gut lining sealed and calm. So the very food you're eating to help your gut is quietly damaging the barrier we just talked about. The probiotics on the label can't keep up with the sugar coming in the same spoonful. It's like planting a garden and pouring bleach on the soil at the same time. A 2020 review published in the journal Nutrients examined how high dietary sugar disturbs the balance between pro-inflammatory and anti-inflammatory forces in the gut, concluding that excessive sugar intake tilts the microbiome toward a chronic inflammatory state. This matters enormously after 60, when that gut lining is already thinning. I had a patient, let's call him Frank, 68, who ate 2 flavored yogurts a day, convinced he was doing his heart a favor. His bloating was constant. When we switched him to plain, unsweetened yogurt with fresh berries, his stomach settled within 2 weeks. He couldn't believe it. Here's the simple swap. Buy plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. Add your own fresh or frozen berries, a sprinkle of cinnamon, maybe a few crushed walnuts. You get the real probiotics, the fiber, and the protein, without the sugar bomb that undoes it all. So let me ask you, go check your fridge right now. How many grams of added sugar are hiding in your healthy yogurt? Tell me the number in the comments. I read them. Number 2. Processed deli meats. The turkey slices, the ham, the salami you fold into a light lunch because it's leaner than a burger, right? This one hits close to home for a lot of my patients over 60, because a sandwich feels like the safest meal in the world. But here's the hidden mechanism. Processed meats are preserved with compounds like nitrites, and they're often cured and cooked at high temperatures. This creates a class of molecules called advanced glycation end products, AGEs, appropriately enough. And AGEs are one of the most direct drivers of inflammation in the aging body. When these AGEs enter your body, they latch onto a receptor on your cells, scientists call it RAGE, and flip on a master inflammation switch inside the cell called NF-kappa B. Once that switch is on, your body pumps out inflammatory chemicals nonstop. And after 60, your body clears these AGEs far more slowly than it used to. There's also the gut angle. Compounds in red and processed meat get converted by certain gut bacteria into a substance called TMAO, which research has linked to vascular inflammation. So it's a double hit: inflammation from the AGEs and inflammation from what your microbes do with the meat downstream. A landmark 2019 study in the European Heart Journal, led by Dr. Zineng Wang and colleagues at the Cleveland Clinic, found that when participants ate a diet high in red meat, their TMAO levels rose roughly threefold compared to when they ate white meat or plant proteins, and those levels dropped back down within weeks of stopping. Threefold. From food alone. I remember a gentleman, 74, a widower, who ate a ham sandwich every single day for lunch because it was easy. His inflammation markers were high, and his blood pressure crept up year after year. We didn't ban his sandwich, we just changed what went in it. Here's the fix. Reach for whole, unprocessed proteins. Roast a turkey breast on Sunday and slice it yourself. Try canned wild salmon or sardines, which are anti-inflammatory. If you do buy deli meat, look for no nitrites added, and eat it 2 or 3 times a week, not 7. So tell me honestly, how many days a week does deli meat land on your plate? Drop the number below. You might be surprised how common your answer is. Number 3. Vegetable and seed oils, but stay with me here because the truth is more nuanced than the internet screaming match. Corn oil, soybean oil, the generic vegetable oil in the back of your cupboard. You've been told they're heart healthy. And in a fresh, moderate form, the science does not actually show they cause inflammation on their own. Here's what nobody tells you, and where the real problem lives. It's not the oil in the bottle. It's what happens when that oil is heated over and over. Reused frying oil and oils cooked at very high temperatures oxidize. That oxidation creates unstable molecules that promote oxidative stress, which is the twin sister of inflammation. The second issue is balance. Modern diets are drowning in omega-6 fats from these oils while starving for omega-3 fats. It's not that omega-6 is poison, your body needs it. It's that the ratio has gone lopsided, and after 60, an unbalanced ratio makes it harder for your body to switch inflammation off once it starts. I want to be fair here because credibility matters. In 2025, nutrition scientists at Johns Hopkins publicly stated that seed oils, in normal amounts, do not cause inflammation, and that much of the fear is based on a misunderstanding of the biology. So please don't panic over a splash of oil in a home-cooked meal. The danger is volume, repetition, and deep-fried restaurant food. One of my patients, a lovely woman of 66, fried everything: eggs, vegetables, leftovers, in the same well of oil she topped off for weeks. Once she switched to fresh oil each time and started using extra virgin olive oil for low heat, her chronic acid reflux eased dramatically. Here's the practical fix. For low and medium heat, use extra virgin olive oil, one of the most anti-inflammatory fats on earth. For higher heat, avocado oil holds up better. Never reuse frying oil. And lean on omega-3 sources, salmon, sardines, walnuts, ground flax, to rebalance the ratio. So here's my question for you. What oil is sitting on your stovetop right now, and how many times have you reused it? Be honest with me in the comments. Number 4. Diet soda and sugar-free foods. This one breaks my heart because the people eating them are trying so hard to do the right thing. You gave up regular soda, you chose the zero-calorie version, you bought the sugar-free cookies. You thought you were protecting yourself. Here's the hidden mechanism. Many of these products use artificial sweeteners like sucralose and saccharin, and while they carry no sugar, emerging research shows they can disrupt the gut microbiome, the very ecosystem we've been talking about, in ways that may promote inflammation and glucose intolerance. Researchers at Cedars-Sinai found that artificial sweeteners significantly alter the microbiome of the small bowel, not the large intestine that most studies focus on, but the small intestine, where so much of your immune system actually lives. When you disturb those microbes, you can nudge the whole system toward that inflammatory state we're trying to avoid. And there's a landmark 2023 study published in the journal Nature showing that high doses of sucralose actually suppress the function of certain immune T cells in mice. Now that's an early finding, but it tells us these sweeteners are biologically active. They are not the inert, harmless substances we were promised. There's also a sneaky psychological trap. Studies suggest the intense sweetness of these products keeps your cravings for sugar alive and well, so you end up reaching for more sweet things overall. It doesn't retrain your palate, it keeps you chained to it. I had a patient in her late 60s who drank 4 diet sodas a day and could not understand why her IBS symptoms and joint aches wouldn't budge. We weaned her off over a month. The change in her bloating and comfort was, in her words, like getting my body back. The fix is gentler than you'd think. Swap diet soda for sparkling water with a squeeze of real lemon, lime, or a few muddled berries. If you want something warm, unsweetened herbal tea, give your taste buds 2 to 3 weeks. They genuinely reset, and real food starts tasting sweet again. So be honest with me. How many diet drinks do you have in a day? No judgment here. I just want you to see the number clearly. Put it in the comments. Number 5. Store-bought salad dressings and healthy sauces. You built a beautiful salad. Fresh greens, tomatoes, cucumber. You did everything right. And then you drowned it in a dressing that quietly contains added sugar, refined oils, emulsifiers, and preservatives. Here's what nobody tells you about many processed dressings and sauces. Beyond the sugar and oil, they often contain emulsifiers, additives like polysorbate 80, and carboxymethylcellulose that keep the texture smooth. And research suggests certain emulsifiers can thin the protective mucus layer that lines your gut, leaving the barrier more exposed. Remember that sealed grout we talked about? Your gut also has a slick layer of mucus sitting on top of it, like a protective raincoat. When emulsifiers erode that raincoat, bacteria can get closer to the gut wall than they ever should, and that closeness triggers inflammation. After 60, with a thinner barrier already, you have less margin for error. Add to that the high glycemic load from the sugar in these dressings. A study of healthy middle-aged women found that a high dietary glycemic load was significantly and positively associated with C-reactive protein, that same inflammation marker my school teacher had elevated. Meaning, the sugary add-ons on your healthy salad can directly raise your inflammation. I think of a couple in their 70s who ate salad nearly every night, proud of their discipline, and both had stubbornly high inflammation. The salads were flawless. The bottled dressing was the leak in the boat. We fixed it in one afternoon at their kitchen counter. Here's the fix, and it takes 90 seconds. Make your own dressing. 3 parts extra virgin olive oil, 1 part vinegar or lemon juice, a pinch of salt, a dab of mustard, a clove of garlic. Shake it in a jar. No sugar, no emulsifiers, no preservatives, just anti-inflammatory fat and flavor. So go look at your dressing bottle tonight. Is sugar in the first 5 ingredients? Tell me what you find. I have a feeling many of you are about to be surprised. Let me step back for a moment because I don't want you to miss the forest for the trees. Look again at all 5 of these, the flavored yogurt, the deli meat, the reused oils, the diet sodas, the bottled dressings. They seem completely unrelated, but they all pull the same trigger. Every single one damages your gut barrier and disrupts your microbiome. And that is the master switch for inflammation in the aging body. It's not really about any one food. It's about a pattern that day after day keeps that smoke detector chirping, keeps those firefighters running, keeps the low fire of inflammaging burning. And in my 32 years, when I've looked through the scope at an inflamed gut versus a calm, healthy one, the difference is night and day. One is red, swollen, angry. The other is pink, smooth, resilient. Here's the beautiful part. The calm gut isn't a matter of luck or genetics. It is, more often than not, a matter of what stopped landing on the plate. Because the cells lining your gut replace themselves every few days. Every few days. That means you are never more than a few weeks away from a calmer, quieter body, no matter your age. The damage is cumulative, yes, but so is the healing. That's the honest truth I want you to hold on to. So let's make this simple, because information without action is just anxiety. 5 swaps. Number 1. Trade flavored yogurt for plain yogurt with your own berries. Number 2. Trade daily processed deli meat for whole roasted proteins and fish. Number 3. Stop reusing frying oil and lean on olive oil and omega-3s. Number 4. Swap diet soda for sparkling water with real fruit. And number 5, ditch the bottled dressing and shake up your own in 90 seconds. That's it. 5 changes. None of them require a prescription, and none of them cost more than what you're already spending. I want to tell you about Margaret, the school teacher from the very beginning of this video. When she left my office that first day, she was discouraged. She thought she was doing everything right, and in many ways she was. She just had 5 small leaks she didn't know about. We didn't overhaul her life. We didn't put her on a rigid, joyless diet. We fixed the yogurt. We fixed the dressing. We swapped the deli turkey for the real thing. Small, human changes she could actually live with. And I told her what I'll tell you now. This is not about being perfect. It's about stopping the daily drip. 12 weeks later, she came back. Her inflammation marker had dropped by more than half. The fog had lifted. Her joints moved easier. Those stubborn pounds had started to release. And she looked at me and said, "I feel like I got 10 years back." I've heard that sentence in different words hundreds of times across 3 decades. So if you're sitting there thinking it's too late for you, that after 60 the damage is done, I need you to hear me. It is not too late. Your body is listening to every single meal, waiting for you to give it a reason to calm down. You still have all your options in front of you. Every plate is a new chance. Now I want to hear from you. Of these 5 foods, which one surprised you the most, and which one is hardest for you to give up? Tell me in the comments below. I genuinely read them, and your honesty helps someone else feel less alone. And please, do one kind thing right now. Share this video with someone over 60 you love. A parent, a spouse, a friend. This information could change the way they feel every single morning. If it helped you, hit that like button and subscribe so I can keep bringing you the truth most doctors don't have time to share. One last thing, and it matters. I'm a doctor, but I'm not your doctor. This video is for education, not a substitute for personal medical advice. Before changing your diet, especially if you take medications or have a chronic condition, talk with your own physician. Take care of that gut. It's been carrying you your whole life.